Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm joined with Leah Tolksdorf, music. Leah, introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. My name's Leah Tolksdorf. I can't believe Tarun said it correctly. That's crazy. I'm a lo-fi R&B singer-songwriter based in Reading. I have been based in Southampton. Just doing my thing really at the moment. You know what I mean? That's all I know.
For sure. No, you've been doing your thing. It's been sick. I mean, you've been doing a lot of live shows and getting out there.
Yeah, that is like my main focus at the moment. It wasn't really intentional, but like I feel like my summer is just like there's a lot of live music going on, so it's just kind of like that's where I'm at right now. But then hopefully in the new year I'll start releasing more again, and yeah, I'm enjoying it though, definitely.
What is your preference right now? Because I know that a lot of artists go through cycles.
Oh, of just.
What do you prefer? Releasing or live shows.
To be fair, I always prefer a live show because I feel like I'm not really a perfectionist.
Okay.
So whereas live music's always a bit you don't know what's gonna happen, and also if you're performing with a band or even just a guitarist, they might do something different. For example, the other day, oh my goodness, I did a gig at the Newbury Racecourse, right? And there's this little girl, and she literally came up to me while I was singing, and she was like, I can't remember what she said. She said something like, oh my God, your voice is so pretty and stuff. She was 7 years old. But then I had a whole conversation with her while I was on stage. But you don't plan for stuff like that. But I kind of like that aspect of it. So live music has actually always been a thing for me. I'm not going to lie. I studied live performance at uni. So that's why I kind of always gravitate towards that side. Yeah.
Wow. So you studied live performance?
Popular music performance actually is the...
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so that was the course name.
Sick. Yeah. I've never heard it.
I know,
that sounds
crazy.
Really sick.
It's a good course though, I'm not going to lie, yeah.
So
definitely.
Was it quite, in terms of theory based and then obviously realistic? You must have applied a lot of realism to the course, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel but with anything you put in, you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
So for example, there's other people maybe that are on my course that aren't performing, but that's because they didn't, taken their knowledge while they were there. So
no, of course.
Yeah, I think that's with life in general though. I'm very much let me get make an opportunity instead of wait for one to come to me vibes.
I like that. I think that's one thing I've definitely come to realise about you is that the opportunity is there, you just take it, which I think is so important. It's true though, right? We only kind of mentioned this, what was it, yesterday or the day before, maybe?
Yeah.
And it's
I was yeah, I'm free, let's go.
On it. I love that. It's why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, true that.
You just make it happen, which I think is sick.
We've got to, you know what I mean?
But I think that's why as well, you're able to do so many live shows and to a really high level. You said Newbury Racecourse. How was it overall?
Sick.
Yeah?
I'm not going to lie. So good. And, as I've done, different gigs. I've done, quite, not bad gigs, because that's, every gig is different. Every gig has a purpose. But, with this gig, I got looked after. There was a green room, they gave me drinks. And
Sick.
I was like, okay, cool. I had a little practice before. I'd never normally get that. It's normally just a little corner. They were like, yeah, you can get maybe a line check, not even a sound check. You know what I mean? But I feel doing so many gigs, even some to maybe not big audiences, it's allowed me to just practice really. So now I kind of know what I want to do, what works for me, what doesn't work for me in a live setting. Yeah.
What would you say does and doesn't work for you in a live setting?
I think I used to kind of do, so I'm a talker, so when you come to some of my shows I will give a backstory of what the songs are about, or just talks a lot basically. And when I first started, I feel I maybe spoke too much, or maybe was a bit too explicit, and I didn't read the room. So for example, if I'm performing to families, I shouldn't be oh my God, this song is about this guy that I slept with last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just now I'm a bit more okay, cool, we're at a family setting. It's not going to be that. I can talk about other things. So yeah, just stuff like that really. And then also just knowing what songs work for my voice, and just what set lists kind of work, what set lists don't really. Yeah.
That makes sense though, right? You're gonna learn more over time. And
of course, yeah, but I'm like very much, I don't really like doing covers. I like doing my own music. And then like I've realised now you kind of do have to throw in like a little put your records on or a song that people can sing along to, because otherwise, you know, when I go to gigs, I like singing along. So if I can't do that at my own gig, do you know what I'm saying?
No, that sounds like a nice blend as well.
Yeah, definitely. So that's always a bit fun
board.
now, doing a few more covers. And then when people actually sing along, I'm like, okay, yeah.
That's it. That's it. One thing I wanted to ask you was, you said before you were in Southampton.
Yeah.
And now you're in Reading.
Mm-hmm.
What's it been like going from Southampton to Reading?
Oh, what a great question. Do you know what? So when I first moved, so it was like I was at uni in Southampton. Southampton was my base. Everyone that I knew from music was in Southampton. And then I was dreading moving back to Reading. I was like, oh my God, like I can't move back home. Like Reading's just not it. It's not London. It's not Southampton. And then like now I'm in Reading. I'm like, it's so cool here. Like it's actually so good. Like people are doing their thing. It's so underrated. You know me, I love my underdog, underrated kind of vibe anyway. So it's just like so nice to network with like-minded people. I mean, you're like basically, you're close to Reading, like to me like 20 minutes to drive here.
Yeah.
And then it's like, everyone's just like working. I think it's a shame though, because everyone's trying to go to London from Reading. And I feel like that's maybe where we're like missing a step, and we should like stay in Reading. Put a stamp on Reading. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know, we talk about it all the time. I think before starting this, I was conscious of the fact that everyone wanted to be in London. But then when you're here, you see how many talented people there are around here.
So much talent. It's crazy.
Loads of talent.
Yeah.
It's a shame to not utilise it and, you know, say
of course.
that you're from here, because it's cool. It's a cool, you know, so many sick artists from around here.
Exactly, because I used to ignore the fact I was from Reading, and then like people be like, "Oh, you're from Southampton." I'm like, "Am I?"
Well, yeah, I didn't even know you were from Reading because we've got a song out, and I didn't know at that point you were actually from Reading.
That song slaps, by the way.
Yeah, no.
It is a good
it's
song.
old now. It's like 4 years old.
I know. I still listen to it though. I can't lie.
It's
like
a good song.
Like here and there, you know.
No, it's a good song. It's a good song.
I was proud of my bar. I was like, what did I say? You're trying to chat to Isabel.
Yeah. The first line's sick.
Yeah.
It's sad trying to fit in this generation.
Yeah.
That's a cool.
Honestly, it was deep.
Cool
that
line.
song was deep. I was like, oh my God. But it was like a vibe as well.
It was interesting because I was like through COVID as well.
I know, we'd never met.
Nah.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, that's the cool thing about
Why
music.
did you ask me? Or did I ask you? I can't remember. Like, how did we start working?
I think I shouted you because I heard you on
Bucks.
George Bucks. The name of the song escapes.
Monday Nights.
Yeah. And I love that song. That's a sick song. And I was like, wow, you know, the hook and just the vocals and the theme of it I thought was so cool. So I shouted you, and then we just made it happen.
No way. Yeah, that was fun. Do you know what? COVID was a good time for me for music-wise. Yeah. What about you?
A lot of people say that, to be fair. I hear it as well because you're kind of able to really take time to just work on your music. It's harder now, I think, than it was in COVID.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like it made everything go online though, like more so like, you know, bedroom studios and all this stuff. Like everything I recorded was in my bedroom, and now I hardly go studio.
Well, that's the thing. It opened a door, which is great for accessibility as well for artists to, you know, get ideas down and get full songs done in their bedroom.
Exactly.
Which is important as well because, you know, budget in music is a big thing, right?
Yeah, you touch a nerve there, you know what I mean?
Well,
you're speaking facts, yeah.
It's an expensive industry from start to finish, so it's great that kind of led to more artists making music because that's what it's all about, isn't it, really?
Agreed. Definitely. But it should just be about the good music, I reckon. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it, you know, unless you're label backed massively, I don't think it matters too much, you know, what mic you're recording on or what interface you're recording
I mean,
through.
like, at least, like, as long as it's, like, okay. Because I remember my first mic and that was, like, tragic, but that cost me, like, 20 quid. You know?
Okay,
yeah, like, as long as we're,
like less than Apple headphones.
yeah, literally. It might as well have been, to be fair. But, yeah, no, I agree.
It's just, because the story, isn't it? And the narrative and how you're able to kind of portray that, which
But
I think you do really well, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Sounds
I
really
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So in terms of your kind of what you got coming up next, release-wise, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Do you know what? Like, I'm just like taking it as it. Like, there's no plan right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like, I recently jumped on this like D&B tune because like obviously why not? Like, I went to college with him and he was just like, not college, uni, and then he sent me this beat. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Recorded to it, and I kind of like it. It's coming out on his EP like literally in like 2 weeks time, so I'm excited for that one. And then I've got a really good song. I mean, like a song that I really relate to and I really love. It's kind of about you know, knowing that you want to do this music thing, but like you're a bit like, I don't know what I'm doing at the same time. Like I kind of think I know what I'm doing, but like, do I know what I'm doing? Basically, that's what the song's about. And I wrote it with Archie, so that's going to be released like soon. We've also like me and my little sister have planned like a release show that's happening in December time. So I'm 1st of December. I mean, like save the date basically if it's like this comes out before. But yeah, it's going to be lit.
Sick.
Release show is going to be mad.
Like that's for that. That's gonna be sick.
No, I'm excited. I'm trying to keep it like Reading artist based as well. Yeah.
No, amazing. That sounds really good.
Should be fun.
I like as well that it's kind of come full circle in a sense. Where before you said you're like, oh, Reading, like I don't want to kind of connect with that kind of part of me. Whereas now you're saying you want it primarily Reading artist based.
Of course, and because I did a release show in March and I did that in Southampton, and now I'm like, we're just gonna do it, and we're gonna do it at home. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Yeah,
that's
super fun. Yeah.
How did you like first get into making music?
Ooh. Like, what do you mean? Like, as in, I've always been very musical. Okay. Like, when I was growing up, I did like grades on the piano, and I did like, I was always just like singing, you know, the school shows and all that stuff. But it wasn't like music now. But like when I was in college. So basically I failed my A-levels and all that stuff. My parents were like, go to college and just study music, please, because you need to get a qualification and you're good at music. So that's what I did, and I didn't even want to be there. I hated it, like I'm not gonna lie. And then my partner that I was with started cheating on me basically, and then I just started writing music that was like, it was like therapy. I'm not gonna lie, it was just like my therapy. And then I started writing music that I was like, I'd like bang in the car, like that I was listening to it myself. I'd show my friends and they're like, oh, it's good, like it is good. And then I even started doing gigs back then. That's kind of when I got into it. So that was college. How old was I don't know,
like 16?
No, because I went to college late, but because, you know, I failed my A-levels and then all this stuff. So it was more like 21 vibes.
Okay.
Yeah. 20,
21.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. But you've always been interested in music.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
And what kind of genre would you say your music is for the listeners that aren't aware of you yet?
We're R&B right now, like R&B lo-fi, I would say. But I'm gonna be D&B in 2 weeks, so like no, yeah, I would say I'm an R&B singer 100%. I love R&B music, but especially like the female UK scene. Beautiful, literally so beautiful, love it.
And that kind of variation's nice as well, isn't it, to mix it up, your kind of talent and skill set. Just jump on a D&B tune from lo-fi R&B is nice.
The thing is, like, I wouldn't actually release it if I didn't feel like it was like representative of me. But like, I can vibe with D&B, like I like it. I like a bit of like Tommy and Piri and all that stuff. I went to Boomtown, I listened to drum and bass for the past like 4 or 5 days straight, you know what I mean? Like, I like that kind of music. I didn't think I'd ever be singing on it, so here we are, you know what I mean?
That's sick though. That's sick when you're able to jump across genres, but like while still keeping the same style.
Yeah, because it's still like my voice, it's still my tone as well, so it's not like I'm like, it's still Leah, I think, anyway.
No, I like that. You're gonna have to play it for us after.
Oh my days, yeah, probably, to be fair. Joe Faber's on it as well, this rapper, and he did a sick job. The beat is also so hard as well, so yeah.
What kind of D&B is it? Like a liquid?
I feel like, no, it's like a...
Oh, really?
Okay,
so you're getting the inspiration from Boomtown. All right, okay. Yeah. That's sick.
It is a D&B tune, but I do want to do a liquid tune, I'm not gonna lie. That is like next.
No, I'm gassed for that, to be
Yeah.
fair. That'd be sick. Can you tell us a little bit more about your previous release, Underdog?
Oh, of course I can. Yeah, so it was like 11 tracks. It did include like tracks I'd released in the past and then new tracks as well. So I say 11 tracks, but it's kind of like my whole catalogue, essentially. I called it Underdog because I feel like underdog, I used to be like, oh, I'm so underrated in this game and like I am the underdog. And yeah, I do feel like I'm the underdog, but I feel like I've always been the underdog because like even at school, like I was never the best singer. I was never like the best player in like sports, but I was always like second best. So I feel like that's what made me like the underdog, and I always enjoyed being the underdog because I feel like when you're like so close to being first, it makes you like work quite hard. So that's why I always feel like underdog was just like me. I was always just like underrated, and then maybe one day I won't be. You never know. I mean, my gran like messaged me the other day and she was like, oh, because basically on my days it's so funny, right? So I used to work in Spoons, you know, and I'm in the Spoons newsletter, you know, the magazines on every single table. There's like a picture of me like, and I'm talking about Underdog in like this little article. And then my gran was like to me, she said, you're not, why are you speaking so badly of yourself? You're not underrated. You're not. And I was like, but I am. Like everyone else, they're sleeping on me. Like, but yeah, I don't know why I said that. But yeah, basically that's Underdog.
And I like that though. And I think the whole kind of marketing behind it was really cool.
Thank you.
It was really sick. And it's refreshing as well. I think there was a little bit of spoken word.
There was. The first track
cool.
is literally like there's just spoken word, to be fair. I used to be really into poetry though. And also, do you know what's crazy? I literally wrote that like 2 weeks before the release, and I just added it in because it was just like I'm quite a spontaneous person just in general, I'm not gonna lie, and I was like, no, it needs to go, like it needs to happen. And then I just like made this video as well for the whole release of it. But the poem includes every track name that is included in the project.
I like that. Yeah,
which was, I was like, that's kind of clever, not gonna lie. So
no,
yeah,
it is.
So like some people clocked it, a lot of people didn't, but I kind of like the fact it's like, you know, I know who the real ones are, you know. No, I'm joking, but the people that are like, you know, fans or like taking it in. Yeah.
How would you say the reception to your music has been, let's say over the last 12 months?
I think always good. Like I'm not in a, like in just like a nice way. I feel like everyone's just like super supportive. I don't receive hate or anything like that or anything. And I feel like you know, so there's other, you can compare yourself to other artists. It's very hard sometimes being an independent artist, I'm sure you understand. But like, I always feel like where, you know, some artists, they'll have like one song that blows and it's like crazy and they have so much love. But my progression has always been like consistent, but like going up basically. And even though it's slow, it's still like improving. And I feel like where like it's genuine interactions and people are genuinely enjoying the music, that's what makes me really happy. And like I hope that's what will make me a sustainable artist and not someone that's just like dipping in and out of trends and all this stuff. But like you can't compare yourself. I mean, everyone's journey's different. I mean, I wouldn't be complaining if my song blew up on TikTok. So like, do you know what I mean? It's difficult, but like I feel like that's how I justify things.
The reason I ask as well is because I feel like from the outside looking in, it's gaining the most traction. It's probably gained since I've known you or worked with you in the last, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
Which is really nice to see.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And also, it's nice to hear that because I feel like you can be like super critical of like yourself. And I didn't realise, like like you just said that, yeah, but I don't think about stuff like that. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I wish I got like maybe a couple more likes or maybe you know what I mean. And I don't even want to be like that person, but that's just me being like keeping it 100 and like keeping it real, because like I think everyone who is in this creative industry can relate somewhat. And it's not me comparing myself thinking, oh my god, I want to be that person. It's just me being like, oh, like I wish my post got that much love, you know what I mean? Like I'm always happy for other people.
No, I hear that. I hear that,
I don't want to be like, oh my god.
No, that makes sense though. Because we obviously make music for ourselves, of course, but it's to kind of share
and
the
it's
love.
like a big thing, you know, when you write a song and then you share it with the world, and then it's like, oh, like you know what I mean? Like that's like you wrote that in like a vulnerable state, and you just share it. Like it's crazy.
But I was saying this to someone the other day, and it's like you don't know what's gonna do well. Like it's just like for me, I put out a song, I'm just like, it's just there, getting ready for the next one. Does better than the one that I've planned months for. It just doesn't make sense.
You actually know. It's so true.
It's annoying, isn't it? It's so annoying.
You can't plan for anything. Yeah, no. That's why you just gotta just keep creating, really, I think. Sure. And just like, always like being you.
Yeah, no, it's true though. And like comparing yourself with others is probably the most common thing like ever. But it's so important not to do that, because
of course,
you know, to just be on your own journey and enjoying it and riding it out. It's
of course. And do you know what, there's something about it though, like I quite enjoy it, like being like this process of just like hustling, like, you know what I mean, I've just worked from 8:30 till 5, like I'm here now. After this I'm gonna be doing some more music stuff in my bedroom for sure, you know what I mean, and then tomorrow we move again, we got work again at 8:30, you know what I'm saying?
Of course. Yeah, that's it though. And that's like the hunger of it.
The like just drive, I reckon.
You need that drive and that hunger, because when that's gone, I think, you know, it's time to pack up, you know what I mean? But you've definitely got that kind of hunger and drive in abundance, which I think is why we're seeing traction over the last you know, year and a half, 2 years especially. You did a whole debut, kind of, not debut, I don't know if that's the right word, but you did a whole pre-release show for your album, and people turning up like properly, you know what I mean? I'll gas you, don't worry, I'll gas you, because I know you're not going to say it about yourself, so I'll let the listeners know.
I appreciate that actually, because the thing is, you know, I'm the same, like with events, like I don't pre-buy my tickets, like I'm buying my ticket at the door or maybe like a couple hours before the event, you know, and I'm nervous because there's like only 50 tickets that have been sold, and like oh my god, like is anyone even going to show up, like, and then like I literally go on Fatsoma and then it's like 150 tickets have just been bought like in the past like hour, and I was like, let's go. And the whole event was crazy, I'm not gonna lie, like even people, because it's my first event, I run the whole thing on my own, I didn't know what I was doing, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this next event coming up, I've got a lot more people on board, because I realised it's just stress, like I can share some stress, you know. I don't have to do everything in this life. And then we basically, so I was selling merch, and we had like this sum up machine, so that's cool. But then basically Fatsoma, you can't buy tickets on Fatsoma after the event started. Obviously, I thought that people just come up, you buy your ticket on Fatsoma, show the ticket, and then you can come in, so people could still like continue buying tickets. But obviously that didn't happen. People are turning up at the door. I don't have like any cash or anything, and then the sum up machine breaks, even though the sum up machine's meant to be used for the people buying merch. It was honestly chaos. By the end, like some of my friends turned up, I was like, just come in, just like literally just like fuck it, like let's just like party. But yeah, no, it was a really good time, but I learned a lot. And this next one's gonna be even better.
1st of December.
1st of December, save the date.
Cool, let the listeners know. So save the date. Where is it gonna be?
It's gonna be at the Three Guineas in Reading, so like literally next door to the station.
Sick.
So like for all my Southampton people, jump on the train, you're there, you know what I mean? People in London, come, the more the merrier. Do
you still have quite a big network in Southampton then?
Yes, I do to be fair, and it's so funny because my little sister's going to uni in Southampton in September, and I'm gassed because I'm like, I'll still be down there, you know, I can see her, see my music people. But yeah, it's interesting though, because I think people are definitely going more London ways, and if I had the peace for it, I probably would be living in London, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, it's just the events. Like I love going to events, like I'll travel for good events, I'm not gonna lie. And like London, there's like an event every single night of the week. Reading, like you have a few. I'm going to one on Thursday in Reading, which would be good, but it's like very rare, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not as frequent.
I can't just be, I kind of feel like going out tonight, but like actually to a networking thing. But I feel like if I was in London, it'd be like there's musicians everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There are loads of pockets in London as well.
Yeah,
isn't there, of different...
but that's why I kind of want to put on my own events and then like you know bring people in from Reading, and then we can
That would be pretty sick. And you're like blending the two essentially.
Exactly.
No, that would be sick. Is there anything else you'd want to talk to us about before we wrap things up?
Not really. Not what I think of.
All I can say is, it's been so sick watching your journey from the very start, which would have been, well, from obviously me knowing you, which would have been, 5 years ago? I think 5, 6-ish years ago.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe I've gone early there. I feel like it was about 5, 6 years ago. Like, I would have been first year uni. So that's 2018, which is 5 years.
Wait, so were you just following me then? When did we release?
I think 2000 have I gone early? Maybe.
You've gone early because the thing is like, I was at uni 100%, but I was still in college in 2018.
When did you release with George Bucks? I feel like that would give us...
First year of COVID.
First year of COVID. When was COVID? 2019?
I was like end of first year of uni for me.
2020?
Yeah.
2020. Okay, not that long then. So 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's
I was
okay.
thinking, I was like, man, it's 6 years. I was like,
Oh my God.
have I been releasing music that long?
I feel like because it's my birthday next week, so I'm just thinking
How old you turn in?
24.
Join the gang.
Yeah,
gang.
So I'm like mentally, and my head's all over the gap. I'm like,
fair.
that was like 12 years ago. It was like 4 years ago. So yeah, but yeah, since the start to now, it's been growing at such a nice pace, and I hope that obviously even for us, we can work on more music in the future.
Definitely.
Fingers crossed. I'm sure we will. We'll make it happen.
Definitely.
We'll make it happen. But guys, thank you for joining us. This has been Leah Tolksdorf. If you haven't checked out our music, please go check it out. It's amazing. And yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll catch you again soon.